Envy 曾在2022年被 Optic Gaming 收购后停用，直到今年年初，超创办人重新买回并复活。这次他们再度回归，由 Envy 签下原本那支 Rankers， 一支有全部登顶过符能锦衣玩家组成的超夸张阵容。从 Rankers 这名字就能看出端倪，他们的实力全来自于排位。他们分别是 Kanzera 刚满17岁的决斗者，只用理所打上符能锦衣，战绩95胜34败 Exter 28.3万追随的知名夜路实况主，只玩夜路，从没碰过其他角色。Inspire 27岁实况老将，有14.8万追随。Iron 今年刚满16岁的控场新星。Poppin 10.2万追随，他也是 Poppin Swing 的创始人。这5个人全部登顶过符能锦衣，所以问题来了。当一支由天梯最强者组成的队伍走上 VCT 舞台，他们的实战表现会是载至战场，还是现实教育呢？
Any of the flashing to just go for the flood, and he's right! He's found 7 on the entry. He swings out again and finds a second. He's going insane on this operator before the rest of Envy gets here.
Main site of the A site. You're creating false presence. He finds the timing as the knife gets thrown, peeks out, and look at all these peeks he's getting. They were still desperately trying to find and get that scan towards that back of the site. Util in hand for the side of TSM instead of these split retakes.
Wow, Alvin Boy, after his barrel was caught, recommitted to the swing in the mid, and Kanzera on his lurk ended up losing that fight. So while Envy have the read on the B, still a 5v4. Inspire with the early catch though, and that's a crucial bit of Envy's defense thus far, keeping it sequential. Inspire finding a second on top of his cage is so efficient with the usage of just like shrouding this entire space. Up to 3 now, just on the field. And Envy, they'll press the narrative a little bit, try and get Inspire in for number 4. Instead, Poppin is just gonna do some poppin' things.
Comes to show as well that the change of the Vice onto the Cypher. Look at that vertical trip that's placed by Inspire from the top of the railing above the site down to the ground. Just a pure counter to the positioning of a jet dash on that spot. When you think, for example, a double dive of Waylay and yoru, Waylay could still pivot towards that side. But here's the info being taken. Nice cancel with the null command at least to not allow more util to come through with it.
I mean, Poppin is just a walking operator at this point. One sight line is locked down. The rest Envy are just going to try and get their tendrils into. 7 on the null command is gone. Hunter's Fury on top of this spike, but they're starting to walk it down, and Bora doesn't have any more bodyguards left. Kanzera has thwarted all of them, and he's on the route to that Soma 2. 3 for the Jet, and 7 cannot do a thing while crawling. It's down to Alvin Boy from the link, and Kanzera clears him too for sport. 4 for that Jet.
He's got for him to push down, exactly. He's made up for it. But you can also see the counter that you have. The dimensional drift is not affected by the null command, so Extra still has full value, falling and throwing that flash, catching the KO off guard. 7 falls, and that just allows the rest of the team to steamroll.
Not all 5 members of TSM have been spotted. Exter hold up in heaven here. This is such a nasty spot, and he'll come away with 1 before getting felled. Poppin able to escape as the Cypher ulti will confirm no flankers for Envy's side. Poppin with that Hunter's Fury can get Kanzera upstairs quickly, and Poppin's just gonna get 2 with his ulti anyway. He doesn't even need the help. Oh, but he's gonna get it. Kanzera giving his body to the problem as Timatino has been cornered away and has to fight his way through the pack. It's a 10-2 from Envy, folks. And TSM able to meet the threat quickly. This has always been a sign for Envy to just go in, balls to the wall anyway, see what they can come up with, and after that paranoia, 7 is still unchecked, and 7 is lit! 3 for the KO! Already halfway to his next null command! And Kanzera has to turn tail and go just for the suicide, which he will just barely float away with, as TSM hover to 11 off of that eco round. I'll give the man a chance.
He's gonna try to knife him. Everybody's having fun in the server, and you know when Kane was walking out, they're trying to fake up the B side with it.
If not now, then when? Dimensional drift.
Popped. Oh my.
Oh, Vora catches Ion with the Hunter's Fury, and TSM try to go for the scrap here. Exter with the pop out of the Dimensional Drift, catches the 2 early infringers with that Judge. Vora, early cutoff, out of bullets though, and so it's a 3v2. Envy's way on the A site. TSM try to meet it early. Kanzera trying to find a head as he's on such low HP. The recon bolt catching out Kanzera's next kill. Timo with a 1v2, and Poppin's got his number. Almost the kill on his own, but down to 50 HP apiece. And Inspire still full, loaded, set up. Timo so much to breach, but he found Poppin. What does he do? What does he do best?
Attack.
And he gets it! Kane has to take his sweet time and trying to go for that backstab. He's still gonna outrun them because he's on Neon. On that Bucky, though, he doesn't get a clean first shot. Bora has to take 2 to go down, but Kane is still unloaded and unfettered. TSM have no proper response to this Neon as he blisters his way onto the site, and he might just be all Envy has and needs this round. GMD stands alone in the 1v2, 1v1. Kane saves it! The Bucky bookends the round for the star of Envy. A 4K for the Neon.
Let's be careful for that because we've lost that position in the beginning. So it'll be a mid to B split to finish off for TSM.
And so it's Poppin that's gonna try and eat instead. Just eats a showstopper, not to the face, maybe to the feet. No, the parry orb trying to let him a free channel, and it will get him there eventually. So it's cainzera that's got to act on the site. Slow orb is gonna hold him back, but a quick
Spike planted.
what?
Oh no.
Oh, Timo. No way. How long does he? Come on now.
No.
No! Vora's on the other side of it! No matter how that went, it would have been silly. But a shame that Kane isn't able to come up with anything out of that. It's got to be Ion and Eggster who circle the boat. The market presence has already been figured out. So is that backstab from the Boba. Vora's already been crunched. And this setup has to remain liable. So they'll end up wrapping that up.
By yourself until you set up a crossbar setup for the flood retake, prevent the flood retake of happening from your opponents. So it's like, okay, nobody's moving up towards the ramp, so there's got to be a time I could find in the front of the site.
Poke and prod with the solos that they have been able to get away with as often. It's pretty crucial. cainzera comes up basically completely empty. I mean, not a shot landed onto Alvin Boy that time around. That is a really tough break. But again, Envy just amp up the gas. And with the paranoia sent in to show for Eggster down to the tiles, he will come away with 7 before getting out scot-free. But of course he doesn't actually get out. He's not sticking that TP. He's sticking around and comes up with 3 total. Now it's Inspire's turn to play close, and TSM is surely prepped. No! Envy meet the threat head on, head first, head early, and it's 4-8 on the half. Such an early poke, but that just means the bear is all the more pissed on the other side. TSM have the stack and the op into free zones. Eggster gives himself away. 3v5 for Envy's margin. Poppin blows through. cainzera exit from the smoke. It's a complete bluster on Boba. cainzera comes up with it all. And Envy flipped around on its head in an instant. GMD, so much to course back through, and Kane has the operator now. 4
Kane
for
with
him.
the slider, man. You know, they were never ready for that. As all of these rounds have been the chaos of Envy into these sites, into these post plants. Rare that we see Envy play to that style to disrespect the spawn. Well, Spiro plays on the spawn.
Begging to snake up to Link, begging to get that extra space, but the recon dart is going to guarantee that position. Begs forward the overdrive, and cainzera only good for 1 that time. The crowd meets him, and 7's res available to make this a 5v3. Do they have enough? That shock dart done so much damage, and Ion and Poppin spray into the fray. Alvin Boy back from the back hole. Could be the linchpin to restabilize for TSM. Vora finds the bullet tracing on Ion spray through the smoke. And it's a 2v1 that Inspire has to save post-ultimate. But he finds Vora dancing through the smoke. Alvin Boy's held the spike to half. The ulti on top. Inspire met by Alvin Boy. And it's 13-11.
To avoid the nerdy trips and traps of Inspire.
The reason TSM decided to start off with this attack, they want to overwhelm the team that lives to overwhelm. Eggster stuck up in the showers, and TP's out before getting punished, and Ion with the crunch. What a marvelous trap setup in the bathroom that lets it just be down on Timatino on the entry. Has picked that spike back up, but the position is beyond obvious, and Envy lay waste on the pistol.
Into the back of the APC. This time, it's a much aggressive dive that you have with the Waylay that allows for them to open up with the cainzera. But as they try to flood back at the showers, what a beautiful crossfire. But they are starting to engage at that spot first.
Yeah, they're moving off the Prowler and Haunt. Sees on the lamps. Timo sees that as the go button to let that Emergent Pats fly. That does catch Kane. Oh, but he's not seen! He's not checked! Everybody from Envy forgiven and given free passage. Are we flawless this round, chat? Are you kidding me? It's such a tough conversation to have of how heavily you approach a specific opening. Really feels like that was the one, too. The C's into the convergent path.
Trying to get a plant spike down at the very least. That was just unfortunately not well seen.
Well, Ion tucked out early by just running it down on the pit, and that's a good first door stop dealt with. Is this the round where Envy gets too braggadocious and lets flow their game plan? Kane's-Era haven't used the not dead yet to try to keep this fight contentious. We'll use it to open up Eggster from the backstab in the corner. Kane's-Era back up and kicking, and we'll just run it down one more time. Kane's-Era does not let that second life go to waste. And Envy...
Strat book on positioning on ults. You see from the very beginning, the C's that's being thrown and even the instant double dash from the Waylay doesn't really allow for the full pit to form out from Ions and even catch them off guard. As that pit goes down, though...
Otherwise, this B exec is so cooked. You can see it from a mile away.
Face your fear.
Nightfall on the execution. Seven will walk up, pop with the collab through Garden! And it's already over in one fell swoop! GMD meets chaos!
That said, they went into an exit where Envy had a good read one more time. 4 players stacked inside that site. A trip to support the Clove into U-Haul with an Odin most likely. But they are at a stalemate for TSM. They could move forward, and hopefully they could turn it around on the second half. But before we get there...
Decoy has to guarantee that complete lack of an op in the shower so Envy can fully take over. Now even the Seekers to fully contest Timatino and open up the A site. Envy has to use a lot, but it's what works. GMD hold up in Kane's-Era smoke, and he sprays through down for 2 before Envy can counteract. Still though, Envy do have that front line of the site, and TSM choose to try and get close first. Timo, a missed window with the up, and Eggster turns to Vora. The recovery from Envy is insane. Trapwire on the lamps destroyed. Eggster mid-ultimate. Inspire finding 7 in the meantime. Alvin Boy having to avoid this yoru ulti and then dip into the fray, but already making all the noise and getting hit by that gate crash. He is completely circled.
Full shields across the board. They're looking for a trap play. They're looking for aggression through the smoke and to get it through the smoke.
Massive haunt found early by Vora, but that doesn't mean you get anything for the rest of this push. That doesn't matter though, really. It's Envy. They're gonna make it known. GMD catching Poppin's jump. Inspire and Kane though able to find their frontline frags. Next checkpoint set up, and it's 7 in the cubby who can now let that decoy and TP fly to reposition and continue to stall out this B site.
And that's a very good move by him. After these 2 picks, forces a bit of util to fall back so he can ult into the retake. But that's how you play it. Just rush through as soon as you hear the yoru, push through the smoke, get the pick, and it's only Timatino left.
How do they meet that crowd so well? Inspire just jumping right in front. And now Timo has to use everything just to get on the site and figure out the lineups. But as the smoke fades, the crowd conquers. The nades to sequence the initial push. Smoke to stop the next part of it. Inspire unchecked on the logs, gets away with 2. TSM, the rest of the pack fight has to be real. And they will hold it down. 7 already, without that healing orb, had to use it on himself to get him back up to an equal bit compared to the rest of TSM, so it's almost a full-fledged 3v2, but Poppin fearless in the rest of these channels, knowing TSM had to be so committal to getting on side, especially with this barrier orb on the back hall. He'll quickly deal with that as Ion breaks his way through. And Envy make their climb. Ion, good for the opener. Down the steps they trollops. Double crunch on the swing. It is gorgeous by Ion! 3 for the kid!
Everybody on that retake. We were overzealous a bit, trying to go for the execute for TSM, running with her util out, just trying to wall out towards that spawn. So that tuck in towards that logs was huge for Inspire, but thankfully we had numbers for TSM to trade that out.
A long ways, ready to catch the first dry contact. This operator still dangerous, and Vora not checking! Turns back to heaven, and opens the stage for Envy yet again! Eggster the peak, Inspire the finish! And Envy come away with that defensive round.
I don't understand why we kept looking back there for Vora at the top of heaven.
And yet, blades are open. Drone is out. A is open. TSM's in. Timo's free. Ion counteracts. Timo's got a frag. First blade connects. Second one's flash. Kane in the meantime with this judge. And the saturate's timing is perfect. He's clip farming in Ascension Grand Finals.
You allow Poppin to get that kill. And he's going to be 1 away from his Hunter's Fury. I respect the first entry from Timatino was beautiful there onto Ion, but that movement right there from Kane is just so impactful. The gap close that you get.
Then you have such an easier path to get there. No more flash support for Kane. It's got to just be the judge on its own. And the spacing from Timo is good to avoid the kill. Still so much damage done by him without consequence. Ion, presence in hell is found and not cared about. Ion! It's 3 for him again! The one Wonderkin sets the stage! 7 forced to hop on site. Not much time to be able to work with, and now the convergent paths to finalize! Kane gives open season to Inspire as he grabs his own rifle. The lockdown fully bursting away. Alvin Boy has to come up short. For one, he is good. Has to track down Inspire with 15 seconds to go, and the spike completely left. So many universes in which this is so cooked. The sightline is met. Alvin Boy wins it! And TSM holds all.
Your shot. When you have him pinned inside wine, for you to overextend into that shot, bring that overconfidence and underrating what Alvin Boy could bring, that's the result potentially that you could get. Look at him picking up the spike, getting the kill with 20 HP remaining. The Hunter's Fury, so he'll have to use his gun.
Yeah, it'll have to be the gunplay. No wall boost either that Inspire was looking to meet on the approach. It's all through B main. But Inspire has to back the boathouse and finds 3! What a last flick! And he'll find the final one as well.
Despite the owl drone coming out and him being fully exposed, being popping, it still allowed K0 to get good value, and get that with the convergence path. And for Inspire to be in range where he's not going to get affected by the convergence path over to Sentinel's Academy team, Hubert's Academy. And he's been put up numbers too.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Timo! Take us out to dinner first, bro! That lockdown is no more! TSM takes over Timo. That is a gorgeous blade storm. Holy!
TSM found something since these timeouts, and Timo Tino's entry, if anything, time was of the essence that it could probably win with.
Making rounds a guarantee. That's what Envy would like to do here. And Kane, not even the biggest threat with this judge, though he's going to make it seem that way before he has to inevitably recall back. He'll still find Vora before having to press it. And this is the kind of domination Envy want to escape this with, the kind of image they want to plaster over Americas. Still so much room to go. TSM will relent here and clock in for the long haul, starting with their rifle round.
But the drone just spotted him.
Kane already recalled, already crunched. Paranoia won't catch him, but the flash will, and Envy is fully in. Now, they've met them in wine, though, and Timo comes away with 3, swinging out, still kicking, and on the Cloudburst, he gets a reset, but Ion and Poppin can stop that. Early entry from Alvin Boy, pops out from the smoke, sprays through the Jenny, does a hell of a lot of damage to Poppin, and Alvin Boy finishes it. Now the swing from on high, Ion turns into a 1v1, and finalizes! Nothing to lose!
Is now shattering the dreams of TSM, trying to ascend to partnership next year in the VCTs, despite the valiant effort of Timo Tino, despite the triple push to fight forward, and even to win that TSM this round.
Yeah, Ion can't be as easily punished this time. The Hunter's Fury from Pop inside as well, and it's a total flood onto the A site. How do you even expect to match something to that? Timo and 7 at least get their frags, and 7 still kicking with the help of this door frame, but he is so crunched and so dead. Envy already rise up to the occasion. Ion once again frontlining and once again dominating. Another 4K for the Wonderkin
of TSM. But the hit in itself, look at that. The Hunter's Fury with the Saturate. You can't even play dice. You can't even support your teammate from the back. It's because of that TP. What was drawn out from a timeout for TSM.
As the drone does the same on site, Alvin and 7 are packed, watched, littered, not killed yet. Envy reset, and that's allowed time for Vora to get back to the market. Kane on the mid pick. A big fight here that Vora wins. And now they can reallocate to the front lines. But Exter still made his way around the site, and Ion still good on this front line. He can distract, he can smoke, he can let this second stepper come forward from Exter and go for the full-blown crunch in the 3v2. Are you feeling inspired? Alvin's watching, Alvin's not waiting. A 3v1, Vora against the world, the first of what would be many times, and he can't even hold a candle. It's done! Breeds champions, and another one stands atop the world today.